Hello everybody and welcome to the 8th and final week of the ENC Draft League Season 6. This week our opponent is none other than my friend Collin and his team, the Appalachian Aggron. But before we take a look at that, we can take a look at the standings. And it's actually pretty interesting because Collin and Sigtrick both are kind of tied, even though Collin's played one less game. Technically that puts Sigtrick ahead since, 7 wins is better than 6 wins. But Collin has plus 11 differential with only 6 wins. So if he he has to go undefeated, right? But if he does go undefeated, he'll just gain +2, and Sigtrick can only gain +2 with his next win. So Collin, as long as he wins out, he's actually guaranteed to tie for first or better with Sigtrick. So, not to say that I'm colluding, because I'm definitely not. I definitely am trying to win, but what I am saying is that I am not trying as hard as I would to win in something like the FDL, where I needed to win my last 3 games to even make playoffs. So, a bit of a pre-John from me. I do not want to be a dream crusher, although, luckily, his dream is not to make first place, it's to make playoffs, which we're both guaranteed to do. Even if I lose this game, I'll be 6-2, which is, really good. I could even... it's a similar case here, right, where Winterville Weavile, has way worse differential than me. Even if I lose this to Collin, I could still very well end the league with better differential than Winterville Weavile, even if they do pass me. But I can never drop below 4th place because every other team has lost at least 3 games. So I am guaranteed at least 4th place, and Collin is guaranteed at least 2nd place. So that's the only thing that really switches is Collin going to get 1st or 2nd, or am I going to get 3rd or 4th? So not much changes. I do think it could be interesting, though, to get 3rd place, because I could get at least it's somewhat of a choice. We're not necessarily certain which teams are going to make playoffs. It's looking like, well, actually, El Paso Ice Cube, I think, is definitely guaranteed. Oh yeah, they've played all 5 games, so they're guaranteed to make it with 5-3 record. Tick by Joltix, if they win, they're in. If they lose, they could still maybe be in. Let's see. If they lose, they're going -2 at worst, which means they're tying with New York Ninetales if they lose 0-2. So that's interesting. Then that means anybody worse than them. We have 2 teams with negative differential in top 8. What the heck? That's so weird. That's only currently, though, because, some of these teams have a lot of games to play. Philadelphia Smeargles has, 3 left to play. Anyway, that's enough data slop. We can take a look at the matchup. So, Collin has had 1st overall pick, and, of course, 1st overall pick is going to take Miraidon, probably the best restricted that's allowed, which is, the restricted. We're not banning anything. We're not singles players here. Well, some of us are, but this is not a single season. He took Miraidon, Jugula's 2nd pick, Tread's 3rd pick, and then this is where the team sort of, not fell apart, well, it did kind of fall apart because he kept getting sniped on, almost everything he wanted, but it did come together in the end, especially after some waivers. I think we said Primarina was the water type that he wanted, and then it got sniped, so then he went for his backup Fairy of Pheasantipity. We got well, at this point, we saw Ground Weak, so we got a Levitator with Brainworms. He had Chestnut and formerly Frostmoth as his 2 D tiers. He has then swapped the Frostmoth for a Lapras, and I can't help but feel that it's literally there just to have Water Absorb and Freeze Dry from pretty much just my team. So that's fun. I don't remember if Torcat... No, Torcat was a waiver, I think. I don't think it was on the original draft of the team. Then, I've talked about it before when I played the New York Ninetales, but he really wanted Grimmsnarl as his last overall pick. It got sniped by the New York Ninetales. He's like, I feel like once you see my last pick, the whole team comes together. And then he picked Grimmsnarl last, and me and Collin are both like, what? That does not do, jack shit on this team. And then, Collin's like, yeah, when you said that, I was even more certain that Grimmsnarl would be safe for last pick. So then Collin just picked the best overall remaining S tier, which was Annihilate, which has been very good for him, actually. Partially in part that New York Ninetales, when they picked up Dozogiri, they had to drop one of their A tiers, which, you know, let Mousehold fall to Collin. I would have loved Mousehold. I've talked about this before. I think the perfect version of my team would have a Mousehold here and a Tornadus Therian here. Yes, Therian. Or Thunderous Therian, my bad. Because, you know, Volt Absorb would be quite good. But that didn't happen. Zapdos is honestly better in some matchups because it has access to a flying type move, which Thunderous would have to do Flying Terra Blast if it wants a flying move. And Weavile having access to, well, Feint is the big one that I wanted a Feinter. Collin still, I mean, not still, I think Feint had sold him on the Weavile, but Collin at the time said that I should have Ludicolo in that slot, and Ludicolo is good, right? But then I already have 2 other grass types. I'm sold on Serena on the team. You know, I'm not married to Electrode, but, you know, it's a D tier. Can you really complain too much about a 150 base speed on a D tier? I've never brought it, and I probably never will. But, you know, at least I could see myself bringing it. I actually thought about bringing it when I played the this team that turns off abilities, because Electrode does not need its ability. So, you know, I'm like, okay, well, it was an idea that I had. I'm like, okay, we could do speed control with Electroweb, obviously, into a team where, you know, Illumise wouldn't work. But then I'm like, okay, well, wait a second. This guy's slow as shit. This would actually have its speed raised. This is immune. This is immune. This guy's not very fast. So it's really only for these guys. This guy has wide guard, so it's like not even consistent there. So it's really just speed control on these guys, which I did not feel was worth it, and I just decided to go with fake out Feint guy instead. The guys that I expect to see, obviously Miraidon, never not coming unless it's playing against Chilla. Jugulus, you know, just it's his only real speed control in this team. That's good, right? Because obviously Fez has Icy Wind and Tailwind, and Lapras has Icy Wind, and Treads has like Bulldoze. But you know, Tailwind guy is the option. And honestly, into my team, spamming special attackers is a decent way of getting rid of Archaludon. The problem is that I do not see Torracat or Treads coming, which is kind of like 2 guys that are usually pretty good. I do see these 2 coming both for sure, which that's a great position for me to be in, forcing him to bring both D tiers. Then the last 2, I think Annihilate just is probably the best fit of the remaining guys. And then when there is an Annihilate, Mousehold is kind of also inevitable. So these are the 4 that I expect to see. I mean, like, Fez is, like, not horribly bad, but it just doesn't do enough. It's just very passive, and my team is quite offensive. I do think Fez was like, pretty damn good in some of the slower matchups, but my team is not a slow team at all. Brainworms it's another case of, like, you know, it's gonna get a hit off with its Sash. But is that hit a one-shot? Like, not really. Kyogre's too bulky. Archaludon resists its stab. Doesn't get a ground move that isn't Terra Blast, and we have done that before. I think these are the correct 6. And I think, like, maybe Treads could come as a weird counter pick for, like... It would have to be, like... I think it would have to be Sash, right? Like, you really don't want to commit a defensive Terra on it, only for it to still take like 60% from Kyogre. I could see like this though, like that. Instead, Treads would be the guy that like hits Arch for super effective damage, but like definitely not a one-shot. Faster than Weavile, which is nice. I still think this is most likely, but I can see either one. Let me take a look at what I've done. I'm leading off with a Terra Electric Assault Vest Kyogre. Terra Electric has been like something like a go-to of mine. It just feels like really good, in all honesty, because I think the thing is that the weird thing is that both teams that I have that have drafted an electric type restricted, not resisted, also have just happened to have a flying type support Pokemon like right next to it. The other one being it's one of these late ones, isn't it? Where is it? Maybe they aren't late. Maybe I was just tweaking. Oh yeah. Oh, it's that they're on the draft board. They're the last one. But it's the Eastside Emboar. They're restricted being Zekrom, and then their support Pokemon being Tornadus. This was something else at the time. Oh, it's a Metagross, which also is resisted. So Terra Electric's actually crazy good defensively here, and then it just naturally hits the water types for super effective. Similar thing here. Well, for me specifically, Terra Electric is like really harshly punished by Iron Treads. But I don't think he's coming to Rain. I don't think he's coming. So Terra Electric is pretty damn good here. Assault Vest will make me, like... The problem is I hesitate to say really bulky in a Miraidon because I'm still taking, like, 30% from choice specs, so I'm thinking, like, I'm hoping that it's not specs. If it is, I do have a way that I can help deal with that, mitigate that damage. Honestly, though, I have not done many defensive calcs. Let's see. Miraidon. Let's see into my Kyogre. Let's make me Terra Electric. Let's make it not specs. Let's make it, like, Expert Belt, just to see. Okay, yeah, these are the types of damages that I like to see. I want to make Ice Beam a 2-shot. We can lower that like a ton, can't we? Yeah, we can. What about Annihilate? I want at least max HP and then like 100 Spadef, Terra Water to die, to Thunder, Terra Electric in Electric Terrain. I don't need any EVs for that. Jesus Christ. What about Chestnut? Ice Beam is a 2-hit KO into max special defense with just a modest nature. What about Leftovers? No, it's probably going to be Electric Seed, but I'll do for Leftovers just in case. Okay, cool. And then I do want to make sure that Iron Jugulus, like a no bulk version, will go down to, oh yeah, look at this, perfect water spout with either kill or take to Sash. I think we can actually just drop our, we can make this guy so much bulkier. I think I'll just do this. Well, fuck it, why not? I'm gonna do some more mocks with that. I just have not, the thing is, like I said, I've not done nearly as much prep as I normally do. So a lot of this are not optimized. In fact, usually when I go through my team building process, I just put my first, just spit it out onto the team builder, and then I run some mocks with it, and then I, make notes of, okay, I think this is bad, I think this is good, and then I make a copy of the team and iterate on it. And usually, I remember when I was showing my friend Nen my team, I had not changed the title of it yet, and it said, like, FDL Week 6 version 11 or something. He's like, dang, you went through 11 versions? I'm like, yeah, every time I change an EV spread or a moveset, I make a new version of the team. So that way, if I ever want to reference, like, an old team, I can have easy reference for all the EV spreads. This team, if we go back, this is just version 1. I literally threw it out, and I'm like, yeah, this all feels good. I made no changes. So this shit is all far from optimal, and I might try and go back and, like, Zapdos. This surely can be changed, right? Let's put in Annihilate. Let's just do the same 252, 100 with the Terra Water. Boom. I actually want to make sure. Oh, yeah. Zapdos actually could benefit from being max special attack. In Electric Terrain, will we kill? No. Oh, Zapdos is not affected by Electric Terrain. That's funny. What about with my Terra Electric and Electric Terrain? Okay, shit. This gets, like, way stronger. What about an Expert Belt? I don't even need a Terra Electric. I do need a Terra Electric. Yeah, because I'm not getting an Electric Terrain boost. Interesting thoughts. What other Terra type could I do? There's no type that lets me live Miraidon, right? Miraidon. Because the types that resist electric are Grass and Electric and Ground. Is Terra Ground an option? Does he have anything that beats ground types? This guy and this. I don't want to stay weak to ice, especially when I'm freeze-dry food. Like, it might be worth it to live like an Electrodrift with the screen up. But I have to drop it to... I have to drop this much? Jeez, please. Yeah, I want Hurricane to at least be a 4-hit KO, which is only doable with max special attack. Okay. Yeah, I think max special attack's fine. Hurricane Thunderbolt is just hitting the 2 fighting types, not you. It hits you, and then not Miraidon notably, but it does hit Lapras quite hard. Let's put Lapras in. If it's coming, I think it's gonna be something like this. And then Thunderbolt with Terra Electric in the Electric Terrain. Not a guaranteed KO. but it does a shit lot of damage. And if it has, like, even short of, yeah, it's gonna probably die if it has any stats elsewhere. Next up, we have Illumise. Now, this one, I've played around with a few different moves. I've played around with Skitter Smack, I played around with Pounce, I played around with Bug Buzz and Air Slash. Basically, Bug Buzz is just good neutral damage into, like, everything but these three. I guess these four, but I don't think these three are coming, and Annihilate, you really don't want to hit it with shitter attacks, so that's all fine. Annihilate is also the reason I'm not even considering Struggle Bug. Struggle Bug is good into, like, everything else, but the problem is if I give that Annihilate a Defiant boost, that's game over. Skitter Smack is basically just, it's Pounce, but physical and can miss. Or, not physical, but for special attack and can miss. That's one of the things everybody talks about how good Volbeat is, because it gets, or Lunge, not Pounce. It's like, oh, you can just spam Lunge with Volbeat. Well, you know, Illumise has Skitter Smack, which is worse, but Struggle Bug is just better than that into everything but Annihilate. Air Slash was one that I was considering, because the Chestnut was, like, the thing is, I expect him to bring it for Wide Guard, but I actually, like, don't love clicking spread moves into this team anyway. Like, the team is just pretty ice weak regardless. Like, I don't necessarily need to like spread moves. But the problem is that Chestnut, if it is Iron or Electric Seed, Body Press just does like half to my old Kyogre. The new one is now not the same that it was. So that was a problem. And that's why I tried out Air Slash, because I could Ice Beam Air Slash and kill every Chestnut, like no matter how bulky they are. They'd have to commit Terra, and I don't think he wants to commit Defensive Terra to Chestnut. Especially when that means giving up your Water Resist. But then in turn, I'm like, okay, well, I can just Tech Fake Tears on Chestnut. Let's actually make sure I didn't even think about this. Do that. Wait, no, I did just do this, didn't I? Careful. And then we put Kyogre back in, because we made sure to two-shot it with leftovers, which means that even... oh, I must have done it against Adamant, didn't I? I did. Okay, that's a good to check. So let's put Careful back in. Let's make sure to two-shot it. How much does it take to two-shot with leftovers? A lot, actually. Let's do two-shot with no leftovers, which should also just be a one-shot at -2. Do that. Guaranteed one-shot with 84. And let's make sure this is still two-shot. Sometimes the math doesn't work out right. Yes, it does. Okay, 84. So this is the new Kyogre. We're going to do blip, blip, blip. 84. Boom. Okay, I like that. Now, yeah, I could have done it in the past with Ice Beam plus Air Slash, but I figure, you know, Fake Tears, Ice Beam is enough damage. And then I also just have, this was Encore, which would stop, you know, Annihilate from setting up, but I honestly think the threat of Encore, as long as I don't show all 4 moves, Collin's a pretty cautious guy. He will, and Encore is something that he likes, so he's probably going to think about Encore, and not just click moves in my face. He probably will still protect in front of it, but I don't think he'll click Bulk Up, especially with my team being so special. Bulk Up is probably not something that he's going to do. The only thing is that Annihilate, we've had this problem before where it's like, even though we feel like Bulk Up isn't great in the matchup, Annihilate just doesn't have many other options, so sometimes you just throw it on instead. Maybe I could see him doing like Thunder Punch or something though. Not sure. I think it also gets Seed Bomb, which is like just worse than Thunder Punch when you have electric terrain. Next up is the guy that I like and Collin hates on my team. We got Gliscor with no item, Acrobatics, Hypercutter for the occasional Torracat maybe, High Horsepower, Acrobatics, Feint, Protect. Could do Tailwind in here, but Feint I like for... Oh, I also didn't even realize or mention what Quick Attack is for. I think there's a really good possibility that the Jugulis is sashed, so the idea is that turn 1 I can Tailwind, commit Defensive Terra to this, and then Water Spout. I'm faster than Booster Speed Jugulis with this amount of speed, which in turn will make me... My Tailwind will go first, then his goes after my Kyogre. So my Kyogre's going to get the full power Water Spout off just once, though, and I'm not locked in because I'm Assault Vest, not a choice item. I'll hit this to Sash, hit this to about 30%, or not 30, I'll hit this for about 30%. Then turn 2, I will Quick Attack the Jugulis, and Ice Beam the Kyogre, or Miraidon, and as long as neither of them commit a Defensive Terra, they should both die. Is the idea. this guy, I have Feint for wide guard and just for random protects. I could actually do Tailwind for a backup Tailwind setter. I did the same thing here. This originally was Weather Ball for Treads, and I said, okay, Treads isn't coming. Treads is too risky to bring in this matchup, so I'm like, okay, backup Tailwind setter, it is. This one can also do that, but I'm like, okay, Feint is also pretty good. Then we have Basculegion. This is just old reliable Basculegion, Swift Swim Choice Band, my favorite set from Season 4. Haven't had a chance to use it this time, just because I've got other Pokemon that are really good. Like, when I need an offensive water type this time around, I'm like, okay, it's just probably going to be Kyogre with Illumise. I think the big thing is that Kyogre is so much more offensive than Politoed that it fits the role of offensive water type, whereas Politoed just didn't. And also having Priority Tailwind is something that makes Kyogre a sweeper, whereas Politoed didn't have the support that it needed to be the sweeper, so it supported the Basculegion with stuff like Helping Hand. Basculegion has not had as much time to shine this time, but maybe it can this time. Big thing is that Ice Beam. Oh, I want to make sure of this still, actually. Miraidon. Let's just do the one in the calc. Ice Beam does 55. Then we put back in Basculegion. Does it do 40? Oh, it does not. That was something when I was max special attack. So that does 38. So that means we need to do 62. Kyogre. Does this do 62 with Ice Beam? It does. That's a consideration. That's a real consideration for being max special attack. Let me put in Weavile. Weavile. Make it this. Let's just figure out how, or I guess Timid. How fast is this going to be? Up to 95. Boom. Raise that. Let's just go to 4 because that's what I have trained Collin to do. All right. Now, Basculegion. Week 8. Okay. Wave Crash is doing, where's my calc? 69 minimum. Okay, 69, so it's going to be 184 minus 69. So in order to get the kill, we would need to be doing 115. Let's put Kyogre in. With Ice Beam, it's not even, okay. This isn't even possible. So then it's just that when we go back to Basculegion, week 8, let's just have 1 dead. This should be plenty, right? Yes, it's plenty. And then also, if we are in a position where we want to click Wave Crash, we can just commit Terra Water, probably. I think it's okay. I think I like the bulk on Kyogre more than having a roll to kill this one, whereas the one in, like, and this is just faster than Weavile, which is bulkier than the one in the calc, which was the one that I was killing with that combination. I also just have Outrage on it. I've had some other moves in the past. Aqua Jet's one that I could do for the same reason as these two, but I think it's okay. Because I'll be faster as long as I have tail. If we have matching tailwinds, as long as rain's up, I'll be fine. I got Flip Turn because that's just kind of always good to put on this guy. And then I could do Scale Shot. I could do Icy Wind is something that I've done in the past, but that's more of a Scarf set. I've done Terra Blast before. I've done Psychic Fangs. But I'm like, okay, fuck it. We'll put Outrage. Outrage is a guaranteed KO on this Miraidon, which is really funny. That's actually why I'm fully max attack. So if I don't have enough guys dead to get the one shot, which I think should just be, yeah, 2 guys dead is not guaranteed KO on Miraidon, but 3 guys dead is. Boom, Outrage kill. That's really funny. Next up, we have Archaludon. Now, this is the same set that Lazy ran against me last week, and I'm actually not going to run it exactly the same. I want it to be... I mean, this is good enough, right? Like, this 135 is fine. I guess I can talk about my speed tiers in the meantime. 133 is the stat to beat, to be faster than max speed Iron Jugulus, which hits a stat of that when it has booster energy. So obviously this halved would be 132, so 133 is faster if I have Tailwind. So everybody's at least 133 except obviously this guy, because every single attack here gets priority. Then anybody that wants to be faster, which is Kyogre. Basically, my philosophy behind spread moves is that if it's guaranteed to hit, you want your other guys to be faster so that you can weaken or kill one of them and then make the spread move a single target move. I think, and many players will disagree with me on this, but I think if the spread move can miss, you want it to be the fastest thing. I want Kyogre to be the fastest thing so that if Origin Pulse misses either like left or right target, then for example Zapdos will move after and finish off that target, because I feel like it's really unfortunate to, let's just say like there's Annihilate and Jugulis, right? Or no, we'll use Annihilate, Chestnut, I guess. It would suck to Hurricane one of them, kill it, and then have Origin Pulse miss the other one. Whereas if Origin Pulse is faster, I Origin Pulse both of them, and then whichever one either, if they're both in range to die, whichever one it misses, then Zapdos will target and finish off. So if you're running a spread move that can miss, I would make it faster. So Zapdos is slower than that. You're slower than that. Outside of rain, you're slower than that, but I don't ever expect this to come up, which is also why I don't mind these two or these two speed tying, right? I don't mind Basculegion speed tying either of these. These two, honestly, in all honesty, I should probably make Zapdos faster. And it applies to non-spread moves as well, because if I have, let's say, Hurricane and High Horsepower targeting the same thing, if the Hurricane misses, High Horsepower, or I guess Acrobatics in that case, if it's a flying weak thing, it'll finish it off. But if Hurricane hits and kills, then Acrobatics will redirect into the other thing, so you can double in a little bit safer. I suppose I should make it, but then the thing is I have to go, you got to go up to 35, and now you got to go up to 36, and then you, actually no, I do want you to be slower actually. Let's make you 34. And then we'll make you 34 as well. And then you go up to 33. Ah, dang. Because then, let's see. The problem is then you need to go to 36. Because then you want to be 35. Then you want to be 34 probably. Then you want to be 33, since you have all accurate moves. So you're the least accurate because you got the spread move. Then you're next least accurate because you've got Hurricane. Then you're next least accurate because you've got High Horsepower. And then you have all accurate, so you're there. And then you just have Swift Swim, so you're faster than everybody. I hate wasting, what is that, like 20 EVs on just speed. But I think it's probably worth it. And technically you are completely fine in the range. Outside of the range is when the problems come up. And then anyway, I haven't even talked about this guy. Actually, I think I was here, but then I got distracted. This is just a set that I am running because I think it'd be funny. I didn't really make fun of it, but I sort of poked fun at it when I was talking to Collin about my set with Lazy. Lazy ran Terra Stellar Archaludon with Sturdy against me in FDL, which I suppose I can pull up. We can pull up the FDL teams in case you aren't paying attention to that draft league. But my team is like ridiculously physical. We have Rillaboom, Salamence, Clefable, not really, Tauros, Crocodile, Hawlucha, and then Quagsire could go either way. But like that's like most of my heavy hitters, right? So I'm like, I cannot believe that Lazy did not run Stamina against me. And Lazy is just, he said before and on record that he likes to mix it up with Archaludon, doesn't want to run the same bog standard AV Stamina set all the time. He also is trying to run different Terra types, so I was certain it would be Terra Flying, because you look at this, you're like, okay, well, Salamence has access to ground moves, Rillaboom has ground moves and fighting moves, and even then you're not even giving up your grass resist, you're turning a quad resist into a 2x resist, which is fine. Tauros has access to fighting, Crocodile is a ground type, this just is a fighting type. I thought Terra Flying for sure. But it was Terra Stellar and Sturdy, so you don't even care about your defenses. So I figured, fuck it, run the same set. I'm still considering, though, making this Draco Meteor, in which case I would have reshuffle the speeds to make Gliscor the slowest, and then this guy goes up to 134. So I would just shuffle those two around if I go to Draco. The big difference is, let's just go back to this. Let's put Arch in there against Miraidon. The big difference is that Dragon Pulse does not kill, whereas Draco Meteor does kill. I think it's probably worth it, right? Let's see Annihilate. Annihilate, put that 100 special defense in. Let me put Mishcrap +1. Let me make him Terra Stellar. Yeah, I think it's probably worth it. Let's do Draco. and then I'll make it second move, so it doesn't matter on Showdown, but technically you want your most reliable move to be first, so this would be optimal on cart in case you time out, because as we saw in FDL Week 8, Ice Fraud timed out against me, and he had Fake Out at the top, which is a big mistake. You never want to do that. You want your most reliable move up top. Wolfie will tell you that it should be Protect. I just generally like my most accurate move that can't, my most accurate stab move, right? The highest on average base power move. How many Protects do I have? Like, I actually have a good amount. I've got 3. I was gonna say I don't have that many. It's one thing I've noticed whenever I play Collin. I think it's probably because Collin drafts more balanced teams type-wise on average, so I tend to have to run more coverage moves against him than I would against like a team that just stacks the same type over and over again. So because I'm having to just like relegate more move slots to coverage moves, I'm less likely to run Protect against him. Just something I've noticed, that I don't usually run as much Protect as I would against Collin compared to other players. So, like I said, I'm like not trying super hard. I'm trying, but not like trying crazy hard. I've tried harder than this before. But I do want to win, but I'm not like dying to win, right? So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a fun match, I think. Collin and I always have fun competitive matches, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that. Okay. So he has left behind Chestnut, actually, is huge. He does have, let me just go to this page. This is easier to see. These two are there. Mouse is there. Lapras is there. No Torracat, no Treads. Excuse me. That was expected. Yeah, the big one is no Chestnut. I would have expected that. I think we just leave these two. Let's, in the back, Gliscor, a lot worse with no Chestnut, because I was kind of expecting Ape and Chestnut in the back. Arch gets a little bit better, and you're a little bit worse. I'll bring you. Alright, let's roll with this. Ebola and Malware. Okay. So, Quark Drive Speed. Let's Tailwind, Terra Electric, Water Spout. This is Terra Electric, Dark, Ground, Fighting, Normal. Oh my god, he has no Terra types on anything but Lapras! Why does everyone forget the Terra types? Okay. Snarl is fine. Volt Switch. Okay, this is all within specification. Show me a Lapras. Let's quick attack that for a kill. Let's thunder that for maybe a kill, maybe not, depending on whether he Terras. Okay, that protects. This is maybe gonna die, not quite. And it gets a para. Do I get a full para? I get a life too. This is okay. I'll light screen and I'll origin, or I'll ice beam that slot. I thought about Covert Cloak. I did think about Covert Cloak. Alright, bye-bye. Oh, full para. Brainworms comes in. Does Ice Beam kill Lapras? Not quite. At -2, does it kill? Let's just make it max. 35% chance. I got 2 turns of rain. Oh, that's a quick attack. That's not fake tears. Oh, he did protect. Damn, I wish I had Encore. Okay, 25%. My thing is gone. I'll re-Tailwind and switch. I do not want to lose rain. I do not want to lose rain. Okay, full pair there. Quick attack, and does Draco kill Azelf? Yes, it does. But so does Electroshot. Let's fake tears that. I'll Electroshot just to scout. Let's see if this is not Sash. Good to know. Oh, I missed. Whoopsie-daisy. Alright, you come in. Ice Beam's gonna kill that. Draco should kill that. Okay, ready for game 2. Let's just see what happened. Yeah, okay, perfect. Do the same shit again. Deny these. And I'll bring the same guys. Let's do a calc for this. Water Spout, I mean, it could be bulky, right? Yeah, it could just have some bulk in it. Guaranteed to kill no bulk. So the fact that it even lived means it has some amount of bulk, like 100 HP. Yep, that's within range. Maybe with 100 HP it's not sashed. I don't know where the sash would be. It wasn't on Brainworms. Was Brainworms a choice? It couldn't be choice specs if it was only doing... If it was only doing 25% with a light screen up. Yeah, it can't be choice specs. It has to be no boosting item. And it wasn't sashed, so I don't know what it is. Let's see what happens. Okay. He does not have a Terra that lets him resist Water Spout, so I think I just... Like, it wouldn't be max speed, right? I could just fake Tears Water Spout. Maybe this one's the Sasher. I think I will just Tailwind Water Spout. Let's see. Okay. It's Citrus, that's what I prepped against. Drain Punch, it's not going to heal that much. I'm pretty bulky. Lapras in. Now, we're in a weird position where I can actually... I technically could Fake Tears and Thunder the Annihilate. I mean, I could also Fake Tears Water Spout still. I think I like... I like this. That's risky, that's risky. Let's think about this. I think for sure the play is Light Screen. I don't need to do anything else with Illumise right here. Want to Terra Electric because I feel like it's going to be Ice, Freeze Dry coming out from this. Does Thunder kill Annihilate with a Terra Electric? No. Light Screen. Terra. Fuck yes! Okay, and I'll take the Freeze Dry. Okay, no Freeze Dry came in. Annihilate will die to -2 Thunder. Bye-bye. Lapras can't protect this turn. Actually, this can't protect this turn either. It shouldn't be able to. Well, let's figure out the damage. Let's figure out the damage. Game 1, Volt Switch did 23 to Stalking with no light screen up. So let's remove the light screen. Let's do this. Let's do Volt Switch. Yep, that's specs. That's specs. So that means Ice Beam, Fake Tears. Oh, I did not make sure that the Fake Tears was doable. Okay, we're good. And then we Fake Tears, Ice Beam, that. Oh, it lived. Wait, Illumise KO! Illumise KO! No, Illumise KO! Illumise KO! Illumise KO! Oh, it's not gonna kill. Oh, that was fun. I want the Illumise KO. And with that, we secure second place going into the playoffs. This is actually the next day, so Collin has now played his Week 6 match, and he's now secured up third place. Tekka ended at fourth place, Gliss is guaranteed fifth place, and Weaselman is not necessarily guaranteed sixth place because Sync can pass him, but Sync can never pass, that's correct. Sync can never pass El Paso Ice Cube because, even though he can win 2 games, he can only gain +4, which would put him at +3. And El Paso Ice Cube has +5. So, first place guaranteed, second place, third place, fourth place, fifth place, all locked up. The only shifting that can possibly be done, I actually believe Tick Bite Joltik is guaranteed at least 8th place, because, yes, this team can jump up to 6th at the highest, which would push him down to 7. Then this team could jump up to currently 7th, because it can gain 2, yes, to jump above him. So if Charlotte Zards win their Week 5, and Philadelphia Smeargles win out, Weaselman's guaranteed, because everybody else has lost too much. Let's take a look at Philadelphia Smeargles, just out of curiosity. They're playing Quahog Cloisters, Trenton Thunderous. Trenton Thunderous is probably free, because the word I got through the grapevine is that he's done team building, and he's just going to use the same team for the rest of the league, and that team just happens to not have Eternatus on it. So Philadelphia Smeargles probably going to win out. Quahog Cloisters they could possibly lose, but I think Sync's a good enough player to not lose that. And then the other one is Charlotte Zards Week 5 against Quahog Cloisters. But Palkia, actually no, I was about to say Palkia does really well in the Sun. However, the Sun on QC, they got 2 dragons, so, Palkia does kind of get bopped if it doesn't Terra. He likes to defensively Terra it, though. But anyway, that is the end of regular season for the ENCDL. Stay tuned, because we're going to be going into the playoffs. And I really haven't looked too much at which teams I want to play, because I'm going to get a pick. Sigtrik's going to take his pick of probably these 4 teams. I know he's not picking El Paso Ice Cube, and I don't think I am either. So assuming it is these 4, between Philadelphia Smeargles and Charlotte Zards, I think I'd rather take Charlotte Zards. Although Weaselman was not a difficult matchup for me, so I might take this team again. I don't know. I don't like doing rematches, but I do think this team was better when I beat it the first time, and I did beat it the first time, and the waivers just kind of made it worse. So, I'm not sure, but I'll think about it, and it depends on who makes it in, because, a single loss means either of these teams drop below New York Ninetales as well, which I probably would not pick. That's another rematch. I kind of did schmoke him, but he also just made some blunders. I think if he adjusts his play, his team gets a lot scarier. So, I'll think about it. I'll need the full picture, obviously, to make my decision. But stay tuned. If you enjoyed, leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't. Take care, and I'll see you in the playoffs. Goodbye.